Boom, what's up, kiddos? I little outfit change from lesson 1 to lesson 2. I went for a run during lunch and it was really hot. Yeah. So I wore a long sleeve, try and cover up the tattoos so I don't get sunburned. Don't want the tattoos fading. Can't have that happen. So here we are. And yeah, we're gonna cruise through this lesson and we're gonna do it right. Okay, so thanks for showing up. Thanks for taking the time to go through this lesson. The one thing you're gonna notice here is these are in standard form, right? They're not in slope-intercept form like we did before. So if you want to take a minute, you can even pause it, draw a little coordinate plane, then press play. Okay, I'm going to take a second and get mine going here. Okay, boom. Now, if this is not in slope-intercept form, it's in standard form, which means it goes x, y, then a number. Okay, I like to use the intercepts. It's really easy for kids to understand is let's use our intercept. So remember, in order to find the x-intercept, we like to get rid of or cover up the y, divide 2, and just imagine this as an equal sign. Okay, so we'd have like x equals 5. So we come over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the x. Okay, now let's do the same thing for the y. Okay, to find the y-intercept, we cover up the x. So we have positive 5 here, so we'll divide by 5, and it looks like our y is 2. Okay, so we'll come up to 2 on the y-axis, and we have our line. Now, what we need to do is figure out whether it's dashed or it's solid. Well, there's a little equal sign underneath here, so we know that it's solid. Okay, now it gets a little tricky here on how to figure out how we're doing the shading. Okay, and this is the best way you can do it. What I like to do is pick a point either above or below the line. Okay, and the easiest point to pick is really right here. It's 0, 0, right? It's the point 0, 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug in 0 for x and 0 for y and see if we get a true statement. So we're going to plug in 0 for x and we get 0 here. And then we plug in 0 for y. 5 times 0 is 0, so we get 0 here. Okay, is 0 plus 0 greater than 10? No, it's not. Is 0 plus 0 equal 10? No, it's not. So that's a false statement. If this was true, we would shade on the bottom. Okay, but since it's false, we're going to shade on the top. Okay, and let's see if we can figure out what that answer is. It looks to me like it's right here, A, doesn't it? Yes, sir. Man, can't believe I just yawned on camera like that. It's so embarrassing. But yeah, that's number 1. Okay, boom. Number 2, let's slide over to 2 and see what's going on here. 2, just so you know, see, we got to imagine that this is like x equals 3. Okay, and we did this before. We said when we have a problem like this, we always make the x 3. 3, 3, 3. We could make the y anything. 0, 1, 2. So when we graph it, we have 3, 0. Then we have 3, 1. And then you notice, hey, our line's like, ooh, I almost did a solid line. Let me back up. That was not good. Okay. You notice there's no equal sign underneath here. So it's actually a dashed line. It's dashed. Okay. And we're getting close. That means this guy's out of the question. This guy's out of the question. And this guy's out of the question. Yuck. So it has to be B, right? It has to be B. Okay, but what I would do here is I'd pick a point 0, 0, right? 0, 0. And our x is 0. So let's plug it in. Is 0 less than 3? Yes. So since it's true, we cover up the side with the point. And my wife was texting me, so I had to answer it, you know. It's a must. Okay, let's slide down to number 3. Okay? Let's see what's going on here for 3. Okay, what we're going to do is, first and foremost, you can press pause and draw a nice little coordinate plane. Okay, boom. Now, what do we got going on here? We need to graph this thing. So to find our x-intercept, we get rid of our y, and it looks like it's like x equals 0. Okay. Boom. Now, to find our y-intercept, we have to the other one's going to be 0 too. This one's a little tricky. I would never, ever give you a problem like this, ever. So don't worry about this one. I don't want to get too crazy and confuse you kids, so we will skip this bad boy right now because this doesn't adhere to what I want to do for the lesson. Okay. Let's shoot over to this guy. Okay. Remember, for our XY chart, this one says that y is always -2. Y is always -2. So -2, -2, -2, which means we could pick any numbers we want for x. We could pick 1, 2, 3 if we wanted to. Okay? So what we have is the point we have the point 1, -2, 1, -2, and we have the point 2, -2, 2, -2, and we have the point 3, -2, 3, -2. Okay? And look, there's no line underneath. He's not there. Okay, so we know it's going to be dashed. Okay, and now for this one, let's pick that point 0, 0 right here. 0, 0. So we're going to plug in 0 for y and see if it works. Is 0 bigger than -2? Yeah, it is. 0 is bigger than -2. So it's true. So we'll shade the point with the side. So it looks like A is the 1. A is the 1. Okay, now we're cooking. Okay, now we're looking good. Okay, let's attack number 5. On our own as a class, take your time, press pause, see if you can get it. Okay, then we'll come back together and we'll go over it. This is my neatest coordinate plane ever. And my stomach is growling because I'm starving. Okay, now we have our beautiful coordinate plane, and that is beautiful. Okay, I'm so proud of that. To find the x-intercept, we get rid of y. So it looks like x equals 5, right? X equals 5. So over on the x-axis, we come to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a point. Beautiful. Okay, now to find the y-intercept, we cover up x. Shoot, y equals 5. That's not a lot of math. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Now we ask ourselves, does it have the little equal sign underneath? Yes, it does. So that means it's solid. It's already looking like A to me, isn't it? But it could be, yeah, it's already looking like A. But let's make sure the shading's right. Just to be sure. Let's make sure the shading's right. So let's pick a number, or let's pick a point down here on the bottom, which is 0, 0. So we're going to say, hey, x and y are both 0. So 0 plus 0 is greater than or equal to 5. Is 0 plus 0 bigger than 5? Or is 0 plus 0 equal to 5? No. Okay, that's false. So we don't shade on this side, we shade on the other side. So look, A is the move. Looking good? I think we can do 6, even though there is a fraction on 6. And I think that's good for us. I think it's good for us to do 6. So let's slide over here as a class. I want you to attack 6. You can turn it into a decimal and I won't be offended. Okay, and go ahead and press pause and try 6. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. Ooh-wee. Okay, let's get after it. First thing we need a nice neat coordinate plane. Okay, beautiful. Next, let's attack. Okay, to find our x, we cover up our y. So we divide 10, and you get x equals 15 over 10 is 1.5. Okay, if you use your calculator, that's what you get. So it's in between 1 and 2. It's right here. Now, to get our y, we got to cover up x. Okay, we got to cover up x, which means we divide by 3, and we have y equals 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we're up here at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a line underneath here? Yes, sir. Okay, that means it's going to be solid. Gosh, that's the grossest line ever. Okay, now we got to figure out the shading component. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pick 0, 0 right here, 0, 0. I'm going to plug in 0 for x, and I'm going to plug in 0 for y. Okay, so 10 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. Okay, is 0 plus 0 greater than 15? No. Is 0 plus 0 equal 15? No. So this side's false over here, which means this side's true. And it looks like to me A is the move. Looks like it. Okay? You want to do one more? One more. Let's get it. 7's got a fraction or a decimal, and then we'll shut it down as a class, okay? So attack 7, press pause, crush it, come back, we'll go over it, and then we're good. All right, do my little coordinate plane in purple. It's got to switch it up here for the last one. All right, let's get it. Okay, to find our x-intercept, we get rid of the y. Divided by 5, divided by 5. I'm going to have to do this one in my head. X equals, I think it's 1.4. No, negative 2.4. I think. We're going to leave it at that and hope that's right. Okay? To find the y, we cover up the x. And this one's easy. Divided by negative 4, divided by negative 4. Okay, don't worry about flipping the sign. Don't worry about doing any of that junk. Okay, y equals, what is this, 3? Okay, so let's graph this thing. Okay, x is over at negative 2.4. That's like right here, kind of. It's in between 2 and 3. Okay, y is up at 3. 1, 2, 3. Is there a line underneath? No. So that means it's actually dashed, which means that guy's junk. That guy's junk. This guy's looking pretty good. C's looking pretty good, right? But let's go ahead and see how we shade this guy. We're going to pick 0, 0 here, right in the middle, because 0, 0 is great. And it's so easy to do because guess what? 5 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. Okay. Is 0 minus 0 less than negative 12? I don't think so. I think we're shading up here. Okay. And that is our lesson. I think you have 8. Nah, probably 4 questions for homework. I think the quiz is 8 questions. So thank you for checking out the second part of the lesson. Remember, the next class period, we have a review and a quiz. And that's it. All right. Appreciate you, kids. Laters.